Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here today. Today I'm talking about something super exciting that just came in the mail. It is some glitters from Lemonhead LA. I ordered a sample pack and then a couple of shades on their own, and I'm just so excited to dive in these and play with glitter. I'm going to show you this whole look start to finish using these Lemonhead LA glitters, so if you want to see that, keep watching. Alright, I'm just going to start with a base of a cream shadow all over the lid. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this look. I really just want to try these glitters. So I'm going to use the Vieve Cosmetics Superhero Shadow Stick in the shade Bare and Brave. This is pretty much my skin tone, but a little bit deeper, pinker, and taupier. Just gonna smudge that all over the lid and blend it out. I think I'm just gonna do sort of a neutral everyday look to show how you can use these glitters in a more wearable way. So I'm gonna define the lash line with a deeper shade. This is another one of my favorite shadow sticks. It's from Vieve. It's their shadow stick in the shade Hazelnut. It's in the same color family as the Vieve Cosmetics one that I just used, but it's just kind of deeper. It's like a mauve-y brown. I just love this so much, especially for brown eyes. Moving on to the star of the show, I have got all of these fun little glitters from Lemonhead LA. If you're unfamiliar with this brand, they make glitters that are easy to apply and easy to wear. And I don't know, I've seen these on social media for years and years and years. I've wanted them for a long time and I finally just got them. Like the rest of the world, I'm watching White Lotus, and if you saw the most recent episode, or at least it is when I'm watching, there is this scene where Chelsea and the gang is out on the town in Thailand, and she's wearing the most majestic purple, opaque, intense purple glitter all over her lids. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I bet that's Lemonhead LA. I bet that is what that glitter is. And I was right. I didn't actually buy that shade. That shade is, I believe it's called Ultraviolet or some violet something. But it did inspire me to buy some of these and play around with them. And honestly, I am more inspired to play with fun makeup than I have been in a long time. These have got me just really excited for fun concert makeup and the summer and concerts and music festivals. And I'm just really excited to wear these glitters. Now on to the fun stuff. I've got all of these beautiful glitters to play with. I got the set of the Lemonhead. These are their illuminating line. It's their line of glitters with sort of a transparent base, but they have these multicolored glitters that really catch the light when you turn your head. And then the rest of their space pastes are more opaque, kind of standard glitter. I mean, there's nothing standard about these. They're incredible, but the other space pastes are just more opaque glitters that you would usually see. I'm having such a hard time choosing what I want to use. I know I'm going to use Houdini, which is the purple one with the purple iridescence. I'm going to use that on my cheeks, and now I just got to figure out what I'm going to use in my eyes. Stuck between Adult Film and Phantom. Ooh, they're both so pretty. I'm going to go in with Adult Film all over the lids. This one is a multicolored iridescent. It's got every single color in it. It's so pretty. All right, so these are they're a paste, so they're a glitter paste. It's kind of hard to describe. I thought these were gonna have a different texture than what they did. I thought they were gonna have an alcohol-based gel within the glitters that was gonna dry down really fast and feel really tight on the skin. And I've been playing around with these, and let me tell you, it is not that. The formula, whatever they are doing inside these little space pastes, it's magic, because it's really easy to apply and blend on the lids versus something in a more watery glue type product that it just sticks down and then you're stuck with it. These, you have a lot of playtime before they fully dry down, but once they dry down, they're not going anywhere. They are cemented to wherever you put them. yet they're really easy to take off. I'm not really sure how they managed to do all of that in one product, but they did. And yeah, they're super cool. So anyways, I'm just gonna take my finger and take a little bit and then just smear it on my eyes. You do not need a ton of this product. A little goes a very long way. Yeah, let's go in with, what is this called again? Adult Film. Oh my God, are you kidding me? It's like a rainbow. What I have found with these space pastes is that it's really good to work in light layers. So as soon as you have an even layer of sparkle, wherever you're putting it, if you want more, let that layer dry down and then go in with more, rather than like applying wet product on top of itself. Let it dry and then apply a little more. That gives you that more opaque layer of glitter. That is just so fun. I'm so excited. All right, I felt that layer getting a little like tacky, so I'm gonna let that dry before I go in with more. Something I really like about these is that I kind of thought wasn't going to work. I was really afraid that the formula of these was gonna pick up whatever shadow I had underneath and like make it look patchy. It does not. I like that cream shadow looks exactly the same as when I first put it down. Like this didn't patch up or make it go weird. It's just flawless. All right, so that's dried. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. Now I'm going to go in with Houdini, which is that really fun purple one, and I'm going to go in a little bit on the brow bone and then really strong on the inner corner, sort of like a highlight. Oh my goodness. This one is so cool. You can't see the purple sparkles until the light hits it. It's just the coolest thing. All right, that's all I'm gonna do for right now. I might go in with some more, but I'm gonna go in with the rest of my face now. To add a little glow, I'm gonna go in with, this is the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. I have the shade 2. This is my favorite one of these types of like Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter type products, these like glow boosters. I've tried quite a few of them, and this one I just feel like is so special. You'll see it kind of, as it dries down, it gives this really like pearly effect to your skin. And it is a little bit lighter in texture than the Charlotte Tilbury one is, in my opinion. That one feels like very heavy on my skin, but this one feels very light yet still hydrating, and gives that beautiful glow with just like a touch of coverage. And I really love that touch of coverage because I tend to get redness and like little bumps along my cheekbones, and when I apply this as like a base, it does a little bit to kind of correct that area before you go on with your foundation. So it's like a little layer of coverage and then also that beautiful pearly glow. I've got some breakouts going on right now, so I want to use something with a little bit more coverage. I tend to love like a good skin tint or like a light coverage moment, but when I'm breaking out, I want a little coverage. I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match foundation. This is one of my all-time favorites. It is so unbelievably good and it's affordable. Don't you love when that happens? I recommend this foundation to everyone in my life, just because it's easy, you know, it's very thin in texture. This actually reminds me a lot of the Armani Luminous Silk foundation, just that it has a very like thin second skin type of finish, but yet it still has a good amount of coverage. My shade is C3, but it's a little bit too warm for me, so I use a blue color corrector to neutralize it. This blue mixer from LA Girl, yeah, LA Girl, not LA Color. This stuff saves my life. If you have a neutral undertone and you find that a lot of base products pull too warm or just like not neutral enough, adding a little bit of blue is going to neutralize every color. I should have showed it before, but this is the after with the foundation with the blue mixed in. I just squirted out a little bit more so you could see, but this is the foundation before the blue mixer and this is it after. You can see it has some like pretty like peachy undertones, but then you add the blue and it's nice and neutral. That foundation is so good. Every time I use it, I'm like, why don't I use this every time I do my makeup? Next is my Becca under eye corrector. I use this every time I do my makeup, but I always forget to mention it. This just has such a good brightening quality, and it has a very emollient texture, which I feel like is really nice, especially if you like a full coverage concealer. This kind of gives it a nice like hydrated base to stick to. For concealer, this is my combination that I use pretty much every time I'm doing my makeup. It is the Haus concealer mixed with a little bit of the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. Little makeup tip, you know, if you have a couple of different products that you like some qualities of, but then don't like others, mix your makeup, you know, like use different cocktails, experiment, see what works. You know, the Haus concealer I love, but it's very full coverage and I don't always want that. The Armani Luminous Silk is sort of like medium coverage and it has a really nice luminous finish. Mixed together, you get a like medium high coverage concealer with a skin-like finish. It's perfect. For bronzer, my RMS Hydra bronzer in the shade Beachwalk Betty. One of my favorite powder bronzers of all time. It has the most beautiful luminous finish without being glittery or metallic. It blends so easily. I love this so much. The shade Beachwalk Betty is amazing. If you have fair skin, it has a slightly kind of like rosy undertone that I feel like just looks really natural on fair skin. It's not orange or like too warm. I really like to layer my powder highlight in between my bronzer and my blush. So a lot of times I use my bronzer, then go in with a little bit of highlight, then kind of sandwich the blush over top. And then if I need a little bit more glow, I'll kind of like pinpoint highlight where I want the most highlight. But I think your cheek products look a lot better when they're all kind of blended together. Like you don't want it to look muddy, but if you kind of like sandwich things together and spend a little extra time blending, you get this really just sort of cohesive, luminous cheek look. Also, this is my favorite highlighter of all time, Makeup Forever Wear Pearl. I basically don't use anything else. This is it for me, and I've tried a lot of highlighting powders. I love them. Love to try them, but since I found this one, I don't even buy any other ones. This is it. Before I go in with blush, I'm going to do a little bit of faux freckles. This is the Beaubble and Rudi Berry freckle pen. Love this. I pretty much do faux freckles every time I do my makeup. It's gotten to the point where it feels weird for me to see my face without freckles. I wish I had them naturally. But yeah, this freckle pen is incredibly easy to use. It looks so natural. It lasts a long time. It's just my go-to. I have backups of it. I love it so much. I did go through multiple bottles of Frack back in the day, and this is better. It's easier to apply, and I find that the little individual freckles look more natural than Frack. For blush, I'm going in with Lawless Make Me Blush in Vintage Love. I really like this blush. It's not like you have to have it. It's not like a holy grail for me, but I really like that the color is pink, but it's like a muted, cooler toned pink. Blush always tends to go very warm on me, so I look for cooler tones to kind of offset that. And this one, it just gives like a really nice kind of like baked pink look, I guess. This formula is also really nice, super easy to blend. Not overly pigmented. Like I don't like hyper pigmented blushes. I like them to be buildable and just like easy to apply. I find that with ultra pigmented blushes, it can all go wrong so quickly, you know, versus something that's more moderately pigmented. If you go in too heavy handed, you can kind of blend it out and correct your mistake. I do like to go pretty heavy-handed with my blush. I find that blush is the first thing to disappear from your face throughout the day. So I kind of like go in heavy-handed knowing that it's going to fade a little bit over the next few hours. To set under the eyes, I'm using my Wet n Wild Hello Kitty powder. This particular powder is not available anymore, but Wet n Wild does have a pink shade in their Photo Focus powder that is the exact same as this. This is a fantastic dupe for the old formulation of the Givenchy Prism Libre pink powder. That one that they sadly reformulated last year, I think, is now all like shiny and sparkly, and it just is not as good as it used to be. But this is a very good substitute. I still miss the old Givenchy powder. This one, the pink is not quite as brightening as the Givenchy. It gets the job done. It is ultra smoothing and very lightweight on the skin, which is important to me because I have drier skin. So like the texture is the same as the Givenchy powder. It's just, oh my gosh, someone in my mouth. Anyways, the texture of this is the same as the Givenchy, but the shade is a little bit different. With a look like this, when you're using glitter on the eyes, it's more important than usual that you set your base makeup because, especially if you're going to be wearing this for a long time, you're inevitably going to get a little bit of glitter fallout. And if you have set your skin with powder, especially your under eyes, you're going to be able to much more easily just sort of flick away those glitter particles without ruining your whole concealer area. You can just sort of flick it away with your fingernail or whatever, or a brush, versus if it's set, that glitter is going to like get stuck in the like wet, tacky concealer. After I powder underneath my eyes, I like to go back in with my blush brush with no additional product on it and just kind of like bring the color back to my face, sort of make everything seamless. Like sometimes if you powder, then the center of your face is going to look a lot like brighter all of a sudden. So I like to just kind of go back over with the blush brush to marry everything together. And then, like I said, I go back in with my highlighter and just sort of focus on that high point and bring back that glow. Things are looking a little powdery, so I'm going to go in with some MAC Fix Plus. This stuff is a miracle. For mascara, it's always going to be my Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. This is just the absolute best. All right, I take it back. These can move your makeup around a little bit if you're not careful. I don't know if you can see, but right here, I went in with some on the inner corner and I went in with like too much at a time, and it just sort of like moved my concealer around. So like I said already, go use light layers with this. It lends itself to a much better application. Also, like these are kind of meant for more like grungy, lived in looks anyways. Like this is not your like perfected makeup look. So just something to be aware of. This can definitely move your concealer underneath. All right, now I'm going to use some Houdini on my cheeks as like a highlight. I did just say that this will move your makeup if you're not careful. So let's see how this goes on top of foundation. Something that I'm finding that helps is if you kind of scoop the product out, then put it on the back of your hand and kind of let it get a little tacky. That way it's not so wet when you try and apply it to your skin. I think the camera's picking up that cool, like, pixelated thing this particular shade does. It is so unbelievable. Like, in person, it looks really cool, but it's just sort of like cool purple glitter. But on camera, it is just magic. For lips, I'm feeling something a little pink. I'm going to go in with Fenty Popsicle Lip Stain in My Type, and I'm just going to focus it towards the middle of my lips for that kind of like popsicle effect. On top of that stain, I'm going to go in with my absolute favorite lip liner. This is RMS Nighttime Nude. If you haven't tried these are the most long-lasting lip liners I have ever tried. They last through absolutely anything. And the shade Nighttime Nude is my perfect, like, deeper nude shade. All right, then over top of that, I'm going to go in with this Tarte Maracujá Juicy Lip Vinyl in the shade Sheer Lotus. These are very similar to the original Maracujá Juicy Lips. They are just a bit thicker and like smoothing on the lips. They're really pretty, and I'd have more from this range, just not that many of the shades called to me. This can come out a little bit messy because it's such a soft formula. This is the final look. I hope y'all enjoyed. I am so inspired by these fun glitters from Lemonhead LA, and I can't wait to create more fun looks. This was just me kind of trying them on, chit-chatting with y'all. So far, these are such a hit and such a fun, easy way to incorporate glitter into your routine. I'm a big fan.